Hello, and welcome to another episode. I hope everybody's had a great day so far. In today's episode, I'm going to share my high ticket content strategy, so I hope this will be valuable for you. So, this episode will be for you who want to learn how to attract high ticket clients by using your content, but don't know how to do it. This episode will be for you who struggle to close high ticket clients consistently, and for you who wants to transition from low ticket to a high ticket business model and want to understand how to start to attract high ticket clients. Before we start, I want to talk about what needs to be in place for your content strategy to be effective, regardless if you're selling high ticket or low ticket. What needs to be in place for your content strategy to be effective? Because you are communicating through your content. So if you're communicating through your content, you need to have a solid foundation first. So you need to understand who you talk to. And I think when people come to me, or if I talk to somebody of my clients also, when they come to me, it's like, this is the primary reason why people struggle to close clients consistently. They have not understood how to properly segment, how to find a problem that they're struggling with. All they do have is a solution, what they're going to sell. But if you do not know who you're talking to and what kind of problem you solve, you will continue to struggle to attract qualified leads to you. So for your content strategy to be effective, you need to understand, what am I going to communicate? So you need to understand that your qualified leads, they have a problem. They want to know what is causing the problem, why am I feeling a specific way, and can you please explain to me how I can solve it? This is what you're going to communicate through your content. So if you do not know who you're actually trying to reach with your content strategy, regardless if you're selling high ticket or low ticket, will be inefficient. That's the first thing. You need to have a solid foundation first if your content strategy can be effective. Because confused prospects do not convert. So if you have a weak message, they do not understand what you're trying to communicate, what you're trying to sell them, why they need your service in the first place. So that's the first part. The second part is, I highly encourage you to pick a business model. Many people try to have a low ticket business model and a high ticket business model. So when you're using your content to communicate a message, if you're trying to communicate a message to two different groups that's looking for different things and value different things, your message through your content will not be as effective. Because it's a difficult thing to try to deliver a message when two different segment groups are looking for probably the same result, but they value different things. While one person is looking for a hack or a cheap course, and the other person is looking for deep value, you will have a hard time effectively communicate with those two groups through your content. So I highly recommend that you pick a business model. Either you pick a low ticket business model or a high ticket business model. So that's first. That's how, that needs to be in place for your content strategy, regardless of high ticket, low ticket, needs to be in place before it can be effective. So when you are developing or creating now a content strategy, what you need to think about is that your content strategy needs to be aligned with how your audience is making buying decisions. And low ticket and high ticket clients, they make buying decisions based on different criteria. They value different things. So your content strategy needs to be aligned on how they're making buying decisions. So when I create content, my content strategy is very strategic. So whenever I enroll a new client in, I make them submit a form. And that form should tell me something about how they're making buying decisions. So what makes my content strategy effective is that first thing is that I understand what kind of content format you like to consume, because my clients had told me that. So the primary reason why my clients choose to invest in me is because they trust me. And how I'm able to make you trust me is primarily, they told me, through my long form content. So when they have told me that, I have data to back it up, that I should double down on long form content. And I think long form content also will be more important in the future, mainly because of the rise of AI and the rise of short form video content. Because it may be difficult to distinguish who is an expert and who is not when you're looking at a 30-second reel. So I can make ChatGPT write me a script on a specific topic, and I can record the video in a 30-second reel. Easy. I can just read the script. But it will be harder for people to do a 30-minute live session to talk about a specific problem that their audience is currently struggling with. That takes more knowledge to do so. So with the rise of AI, with the rise of more short form content, high ticket buyers, in my opinion, what I think in the future will be more important, because high ticket clients will struggle to distinguish who is an expert and who is not based on the 30 seconds. So they want to consume more long form videos because they need to understand who am I going to invest in. So my clients as well have told me that long form video content is the main reason why I am able to trust you, that eventually leads me to want to invest in your program. So you need to understand what kind of content format do your audience like to consume, and where do they like to consume it. So, and this is why your foundation is so important. This is why you need to understand who you are talking to. Because if you are targeting a segment group that has a very hectic lifestyle, have a hectic work day. For instance, you're targeting lawyers. Maybe they do not have time to watch YouTube, your YouTube videos. Maybe they just have time to listen to your podcast because they home at 9 o'clock in the evening. They have time to listen to your 30 minutes podcast when they're driving back and forth from work and home. For instance, if you're targeting software developers, for instance, they probably spend the majority of their time in front of a computer. So maybe they like to consume your long form content on YouTube. But for you to understand this part, you need to also understand the foundation. Who you're talking to. What kind of content format do they like to consume, and where do they like to consume it? Is it LinkedIn? Is it YouTube? Is it podcast? Do they watch Do they use Instagram mostly, primarily? This is what you need to understand. So based on the feedback from my clients, I know that they like to consume my live videos. That's why I know now that I need to double down on live videos, because they get most value out of long form content. That's the first part. The second part is I post my content based on how you actively consume your content. And what I mean by that is that I know who my ideal client is. They have family, they have either work full-time or work part-time, and they like to spend the weekend off. So I do not post, I post Monday to Thursday, that's it, because they are actively consuming content on those days. And when Friday comes, they log off, they want to spend time with their family. And I strategically post different things that will move my audience through the buying decision journey. So I don't hard sell on Mondays, because people like to get a slow start of the week, right? So I don't hard sell on Mondays. I can post some motivational things to kickstart the week. On Thursday and Tuesdays, I try to educate you on a specific topic, give you some, like, give you value and give you a reason why you struggle with a specific thing and how to solve it. And on Wednesday, I usually tell my story, where I have been and where am I now. And Thursday, I'm doing live, where I can talk about my offer more in depth, but at the same time provide you a lot of value, because I know that you like to watch my live content. So I post content based on how you actively consume content. And that is also what you need to figure out, is how does your audience, like, how do they consume your content and where do they consume it? That was the second part. And the third part is that I actually spend more time on stories. And the reason why I do that is because I see that that is what people engage with the most, is my stories. I have so much evergreen content published on my newsfeed that I know that when a new follower follows me, I know exactly, I have full control of what you see. I know that if you are a qualified lead of mine, I know that my content will provide you some value, 100%. So I have total control of what you see or not. But I use stories more now because I see that people engage more on stories. That is how I also am able to build a more robust and good relationship with you all, is through stories, because you get to see more behind the scenes. Because I think, like, people on, like, there's a lot of short form content now, people saying a lot of the same things. I think people getting a bit fed up. At least I am sometimes. I'm starting to get a bit fed up about everything that's posted. There's so much impressions all over. And I think people just want the authentic side of things. The authentic, like, the person behind the account. So, as I said, I have a lot of evergreen content that I know that you can consume. You have a lot of hours of content that you can consume, and you get me behind the scenes. So that is my content strategy. To sum it up, what you need to remember is that your content strategy has to be aligned with how your audience is making buying decisions. Write that down. You need to understand what kind of content format your audience like to consume. Is it long form content, short form content? Where do they like to consume it? Is it LinkedIn they are? Is it YouTube? Is it podcast? You need to figure out, based on the market research, based on the foundation that you have set, what kind of content format do your audience like to consume? The second point is that you need to also post content how your audience actively consume the content. So maybe they're more active on weekends, I don't know, but you figure that out based on market research. And I highly recommend you also to start using more stories to get more behind the scenes, not just posting the post that you post on the feed in the stories, but actually showing more behind the scenes, more about you, whatever you like to share, basically. But to selling low ticket is not easier than selling high ticket. It's not easy to sell low ticket than high ticket, even though the price is lower. Because if you have a specific knowledge, if you're good at something, and you have a family, you work full time, or part time, you want to breathe and have some space. If you have that, convert to high ticket business model and thank me later. Thank me later. I promise you, selling low ticket is not easier than selling high ticket. You just need to simplify. You need to simplify your business model. You need to simplify your message. You need to. I had a conversation with one of my clients 2 days ago, and she said that I'm now attracting more and more sophisticated buyers. I'm attracting lawyers. I'm attracting doctors. And it's because, I said to her, it's because of you getting better at simplifying the message so more people understand, and being more sophisticated in the way that you talk as well. So you attract more sophisticated buyers. So because you need to practice how to simplify a message, making something that is in your head easy for everybody else to understand also. That's a hard thing to do. But if you can do that, it's not more difficult to sell high ticket than low ticket. So if you have a specific thing that you have deep knowledge about a thing, about a subject, if you package that correctly, if you learn how to simplify the message so everybody understand what you're trying to sell, what kind of problem you solve, what kind of result you deliver, you will see that people will pay you $5,000 as well to work with you. But it's the foundation and the messaging that prevent people to attract qualified leads and close them consistently. And this is based on the feedback that my clients give me, people that I have had calls with, just like regular conversations in the direct messages. This is the primary reason why your foundation is weak and your messaging is weak. So if you learn to do that properly, you will see that things will be better. We'll be perfect. No, but seriously, I mean that, because I sold low ticket when I first started. Drained me. It was so much work, not worth it. When you have a family, working full time, trying to build this business on the side, it was not worth it, because I worked just as much and earned less. And I had more clients, earned less. So that's just my recommendation. Any questions? Any questions? I see there's some people on. Thank you, thank you. But I hope this was valuable. I hope this was valuable. And my content strategy, to be honest, it works. It's a simple content strategy. And to be honest, also to nail the foundation and not the foundation, but to nail the messaging, it takes time. It takes practice. But the more people you talk to, the right people, the better you will become in your messaging. So you need to speak the same language as the people you're trying to attract. How do they express and describe the symptoms and the problems? How do they speak? This is the basic that you need to figure out. And you need to again have a content strategy that is aligned with how they're making buying decisions. That is absolutely key. But it takes time to figure that out, and it takes a lot of market research. I am able to know how to double down on things now because I have had more clients in that can give me specific data, specific feedback on what actually influenced them to make a buying decision. And for high ticket clients is trust, and how to build trust the best way is through long form content that I'm doing now, where you can get a better understanding of what I do and how I talk and how I am and what kind of personality I am, what kind of values do I have, do the values align with how like your values, do the way that I teach, is that the way that you like to be taught? But it's how you build trust, basically. So yes. Any questions, my loves? I think that this was a good live, and I enjoy doing more live sessions. Doing live sessions is strange to just talk to yourself on camera. It's strange, but I get used to it. So I hope you liked it. No question. Okay. I will say my live on my feed and you can rewatch it whenever you want. Okay, y'all. Peace out. What? What?